Hello and welcome to a winners round 2 of the 80% tournament for Super Mario Odyssey. In this match we got Real, I just call him Real. I'm not pronouncing the rest of that, versus Sign. And I do have Cheese James joining me in commentary. I'm Troy Bathens, by the way. I didn't say that one.
Hi. Hello, everyone. I am very out of breath. I full force sprinted home from the bus stop.
Nice. I had a similar thing actually, but I kind of planned it. Like I knew I'd be fine. So yeah, they're setting it up. How are you feeling about this match? What do you think is gonna happen?
I mean, I think it'll probably be close. I don't know what either runner's PBs are, so.
I'm actually looking at stuff right now, because there is a stats page that some commentators have. I'm one of them, because we're cool like that, I guess. I'll link it to you later. Don't worry. It's not like it's an exclusive club or anything. But Real has a PB of 1 hour 2 minutes and 12 seconds.
That's very impressive.
His average is 1 hour and 3 minutes and 14 seconds. Average being based on the stuff that has happened in tournaments, in tournament average. And I gotta scroll down. Hold on, let me find Sign if he's here.
Looks like both runners are getting the starting screen right now.
Found Sign. Okay, Sign has a 1 hour 6 minute and 25 PB.
1 hour and what? Can you say that again?
1 hour 6 minutes 25 seconds.
Okay, that's respectable as well. I really think anything below 1 hour and 10 minutes is a very respectable time.
Absolutely, and anyone who is in this tournament actually, I believe, was required to have under that. So
yeah, so it definitely makes for very good races. Now both runners in Captain here. Nothing too much to say about this game. This game just serves as the tutorial kingdom for many players.
And as I'm just finishing up that stats page, I'm back now to actually watching the stream again.
Now coming up here, we're going to see a trick where the player's going to pull the lever and then go in first person. This skips part of the cutscene and skips about half a second to a second, I believe.
Right, there's not too many tricks in Cap Kingdom itself, but it is definitely a technical kingdom that can become...
Yeah, I would say this is
there are points... The biggest thing would probably be left side.
Yeah, I would say this is a very optimized kingdom, one of the most optimized ones for sure, since it's right at the beginning.
Next to Lost. Lost Kingdom is probably the most.
Yeah, both, I feel like the shorter games are definitely more optimized.
So yeah, this is what I'm talking about here. We got left side. So it's a triple jump. Very precise triple jump. It's hard to actually get the triple jump on its own part. And then
getting no face to work with there.
Getting the cappy bounce into a wall jump, into diving.
And we're seeing different topper fights here. We saw Real have the dive into spin throw strat there at the end. And Cyan chose not to go for that.
Yeah, so Real did choose a slightly faster strategy. Not going to impact too much.
Yeah.
We will see what the typical end time split is when they fade to black.
2:21 for Real. That's very impressive.
Nice.
2:25 for Cyan. So 4 seconds apart, it looks like.
And you can't get... I don't think you really can get better than a 2:21, really.
I've seen a few people get 2:20s, but it's very, very difficult.
Yeah, so 221 is very impressive to see.
No,
So
both
these
runners.
players-
Sorry.
You say it, you probably know. You probably
Yeah,
know.
both these runners are choosing not to go for first moon skip, which skips a bunch of cutscenes here. You're going to see that there are a bunch of really long cutscenes here, and you can actually skip this moon if you're on version 1.0 of the game, which saves about 25 seconds. So you're not having to watch any of these cutscenes.
I believe it. Actually, looking back at stats page, it does say that Sign runs in 1.2, so that would be why they have to do. So at that point, the rules state that it's up to the person who has the latest patch as to what is and isn't allowed. And I guess Sign said no first moon skips.
Which is definitely respectable because it does save quite a lot of time. One of the biggest time saves in the run.
And Rhea has been in this scene for a while, so it's not. I don't think it'd be anything that particularly would throw him off too much, having to go back to an older route.
Yeah.
In terms of like doing Legacy, of course.
Both runners seem to be taking out the spots pretty clean here. This shot is not too difficult for a lot of runners. It's just muscle memory since nothing really changes with it. There hasn't been too many changes with it in time. Ooh, it looks like Rhea is actually messing it up. Commentators curse.
Yeah, so it is muscle memory, but I'd say like getting the cap off of Chain Chompkins probably is more of like an audio cue, at least for me. When I've tried it, it's always been an audio cue of when I'm going to do a backflip into a cap you've thrown and get the capture quickly. As for like positioning to like, it's harder to actually get the positioning right so that you can immediately spring it back into Madame Brittle's face.
Yeah, I whenever I do this fight, I actually have visual cues for that. I use a few visual cues for this fight. Both runners need to grab one more moon before leaving this kingdom now. And they should be grabbing the moon on top of the cliff. Just like that. Nothing too difficult. This is a very easy moon to grab right before leaving. Oh my god. Cyan went right below that chain jump there. That was ridiculous. The chain jump hopped and he went right below it. That was insane.
So cool to see. We both got both players in the Odyssey cutscene of the final Odyssey cutscene of Cascade Kingdom, and now we're going to be moving into Sand. And this is where things could also like I'm not entirely sure as to what Sign and Rail agreed upon, as to if we will see any.
Yeah, we'll see first.
Oh wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, no. I did just scroll up in rules, and it seems that they have agreed to no 1.0 tricks. So that means we're not going to see any Sphinx clips.
Okay, so both runners should be skipping Sphinx entirely then, right?
Yes, the fastest route would be to go away from Sphinx and to get like more moons in Oasis, basically. And Rayal doing a trick that doesn't save any time, but looks really cool. And both runners are pretty close. Like, the gap that was there in at the end of Cap Kingdom is pretty much gone. They're less than a second apart right now.
Yes, this is incredible. It's almost synced. Now, will we be seeing the runners grab the bird here? Looks like Rail is not going for the bird.
Yeah, so that is one of the things I was taught. I think actually, I'm not sure.
I think grabbing the bird faster for the 1.2 route on the first, like right there on the hill.
Yes, it is, because the whole point of the way that the bird gets reset is you coming out of the Sphinx room. Otherwise, the bird's kind of in a weird spot, and it's like you don't know when it's gonna show up at the Oasis.
Yeah, looks like Sign got a really sloppy pillar there, very unfortunate. And Rail is going for a trick we like to call Tram. Gonna do an upload there and hold your cap out, and then home into it right before you grab the moon. and you should warp up to the top just like that.
And Sign's going for it now as well. It looks like a good cap throw, just provided the bullet bill behaves. And there we go, it's got it.
Well, it looks like Sign's actually going for the crate here. Royale choosing the skip crate, which is, I believe, faster.
Yeah, so you go straight from capturing the bullet into the leading pillar.
Well, I love this trick. I love whenever you do that backwards capture there. That looks so sick.
Yeah. Ever since, like, doing, like, long cap throws, like, long cap captures are, like, discovered and used commonly, people have just been finding creative ways of doing them and making them look really cool. And so Rail is actually choosing to do Sphinx Room, which is the slower of the routes because you're not doing a Sphinx you're not doing a Sphinx clip. However, it still is pretty quick, so we'll see what Sign chooses to do.
Rail might be choosing to do it because he does run on 1.0, right?
He does.
Yeah, so it might just be muscle memory for him to use this route at this point.
That's fair. Sand has not changed in a very long time.
Both runners bonking before the chest there. Very unfortunate.
Like, even when we knew that, like, the Sphinx Questions was a slower route than, like, going to the Oasis last, like, going straight to the Oasis, rather, people would still do the Sphinx thing because it's easier. Like, it's tight. I think it's tighter timing to deal with, to do the, like, whole music note thing and like do more moons outside and not just the Sphinx thing.
Yeah, I've only been running this game since February, so I don't know too much of the routing differences in this game.
I was around. I didn't get fully involved. I just kind of watched it, which makes sense for me, being a guy who. I won't go into my history. Let's watch these guys.
It looks like Sign got Jack to skip there. Just got a wall jump up the tower there to grab a chest moon and some coins.
And so, yep, this is what I was talking about, how the bird is now in the proper spot. Sign has actually been having a bit of trouble since he got out of the Sphinx Room, so the bird might be in a bit of a weird location for him once he gets to the Oasis.
Hopefully the bird is still there. It'll be a tragedy if it's not.
It's still there, it's just, it's like weird where it is. It's okay, it's fine. It's fine, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, because I've had runs where, like, the bird's just not there anymore and I just don't know what to do. If I mess up.
Find it. No.
And it looks like Real is going to be ahead at leaving stand, but there is still a lot of race left for a Sign to catch back up. And now the runners are going to be moving on to the Lake Kingdom. Not a too difficult kingdom. I don't know if we're going to be seeing any late crit backs in here or not, though. Late clip being a clip that was discovered recently where you can actually use a ledge clip to clip into a wall after the zipper moon. And get a moon out of bounds and then warp up to the painting moon.
I don't know if he's attempted it before. I mean, it would be pretty simple to understand, like, to catch whether or not Royal actually goes for it, based off of getting this moon right here, right after it, if he goes for the like, it's really particular on his positioning.
Oh, we actually.
And yes, he is. He's going for it.
I thought he was going for it. I thought I saw him practicing for it before the race.
It's just a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
So this is this clip does exist in 1.2, so it's totally legal for him to do it. It is not easy. Gets it on the third try there. Now wall jump into, turn the Cappy up into the checkpoint and ground pound down into onto the chest and then warping back up to that checkpoint that you just got. So it's
Yeah,
Great.
and the point of this route is to skip Rango because there are a lot of cutscenes associated with the Rango fight.
Yeah, the fight itself for Rango isn't that long, but I believe the cutscenes afterwards take about 40 seconds, which is huge. So being able to find 3 other moons that are faster, so that we don't have to get Rango's multi-moon, was really what needed to be done. And so it's the moon from the checkpoint up there, which is really a painting moon. That chest, which is in the secret passage, but we kind of clip around out of bounds to not have to go through the secret passage. And this little secret one that's in the actual, not this one, it's like behind a wall when you talk to one of the NPCs.
Yeah, we talked to a lady to get it. Now, I don't know if Rail is actually going to be ahead after this, because he had a very slow late clip, and late clip only saves, I believe, about 5 or 6 seconds. So if you don't get it first or second try, you're not really saving time with it.
I believe he is, because we still have a bunch of moon cutscenes.
We'll see. It's
Rail
definitely
is
close.
done completely. All Rail has to do is warp to the Odyssey and go. Sign still has like a bit more of this cutscene. I'd say like 5 to 10 seconds of this cutscene still.
I think Sign definitely made up some ground here, though.
Because after this whole thing, Sign still has the cutscene that Rail is dealing with right now. so yeah.
It's definitely a close race right now, though. I definitely think Sign made up some ground. Looks like Sign is about 6 seconds behind, which is incredibly close going into Wooded.
And Wooded is also a spot where...
Yeah, Wooded being probably the... What?
I always forget if that clip is a thing in 1.2.
It is. Yeah, it is. You can do it in all versions. There's no difference.
Okay, cool. So we will see nut clip.
The only thing different in 1.2 is just the world cancel clips. That's the only difference.
And
first, yeah. Turn flip, all that.
Yeah.
It looks like Rail actually missed the bunny there. It looks like, yeah, losing him a little bit of time there, but he had a very good backup. He luckily realized I didn't get it. Wasn't able to back it up very good there. Now, would it probably be I would argue the most difficult kingdom. Oh my god, Rail cannot find the moon there.
The shop is being really weird for Rail. First he jumped before talking to the NPC, and then he scrolled past the moon. So
yeah, he chose the heart and then scrolled past it.
Yeah,
he almost bought the heart to it.
There is the joke that heart skip is one of the hardest things to do in this game, being not buying a heart from the shop, but
yeah.
It actually can be pretty hard. That looks like a pretty good nut clip there for Rail. Sign just barely in there. That's kind of an awkward one. Gets there. It's fine. Now Rail has to stay out of bounds for a little bit after getting this moon and recovering with that wall jump. Good job.
Oh no!
Oh, Sign is falling. Oh, this is okay.
Oh my god, that backup was insane. What happened there?
So yeah, there's a little bit of edge behind the wall that you can use, but good god, that was scary.
I thought he was going straight into Deep Woods there. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, right underneath that wall is the loading zone for Deep Woods, so you do not want to fall.
I would say you probably lose like at least a minute if you fall into Deep Woods. And that's if you know like a good backup what means to grab there. But I'm assuming most runners don't.
Yeah, most runners, if they go into Deep Woods, just reset. Ooh. So like, you probably don't know any good backups.
Sign getting a very nice instant nut right there. This race is all over the place right now. It's been very close at times, and now it's very separate. Rail has a very large lead, but I definitely think Sign.
Little mistake from Sign in the when being out of bounds here in Wooded, but there's still some opportunity in this kingdom.
Yeah, out of bounds being very, very difficult. I would argue probably the most difficult part of the clip.
Yeah, so yet again, this route here with this clip is something that is allowing us to skip the long 40-second and somewhat cutscene at the end for beating Topper. Not Topper, Spewart.
Yeah.
So,
it also
so
skips.
We will not see Spewart.
Oh, yeah. There's another variation of this route, I believe, where you can choose to do Spirit instead of fast pipes at the end. So we'll see what the runners choose to go for here.
Right. The jump from the arena that you get to at the top of the tower down to like that main like wooded area that we're kind of in before is kind of difficult. There's two options there. Either you buffer a jump so that you don't get the stutter step thing where you like Mario gets really annoyed that you just fell from a very high spot, or you choose to land on Takatu, which is actually my favorite one.
I had no idea that you actually had an option to land on Takatu there. I've never seen that before.
I believe it's tighter to do the talk to one than like it's hard like cause you actually have one's a frame strat and one is like there's the buffer jump right there for now. One's a frame strat and one is a positioning strat. So like it's in some people's eyes it's harder to do the talk to strat, but come on, it's just more fun.
Yeah. Okay, we'll see if Rao can get fast pipes here. This trick has been around for a while, so... And Cyan showcasing the spirit route that I was showing here, using the fight spirit instead of doing the jump down and fast pipes and around the corner.
Yeah, so along with this skipping the cutscenes after beating Spirit, you are also skipping a loading zone once you get out of pipe. You don't have to leave the pipe place. You just are doing the You're just doing the loading screen to get to the Odyssey.
Yeah, you're warping right here. And it looks like Rail will be moving on to Cloud here. Rail having a very good Wooded King here.
Yeah, this is giving Rail a pretty respectable lead right now.
Yeah, because Wood is a very difficult kingdom to get everything right in.
Right, and I think that the next thing to really watch out for is probably going to be a Lost Kingdom, just because things can go wrong there. It seems like it can't, because like we've said, it's so optimized that people have ran it so many times, but it really is because it's optimized. There are some really precise jumps that if you mess up, you get severely punished.
Yeah, like a lot of people, like to say, there's some sort of risk along with every single moon. Every single moon has some sort of risk tied to it.
Cloud Kingdom is not gonna this Bowser fight is not a huge loss if you mess up things right now. I hopefully Royale doesn't do anything. I'm not gonna say whether or not he will or not. That's commentator curse.
Looks like Rail's going for Bowser minute here.
Yeah, so you're making Bowser do the shortest jumps possible, and also capturing the hat at the soonest possible frame.
Yeah, the Bowser minute trick saves about a second, and I don't know how much the instant half capture saves.
Probably about another second. Because otherwise you have to wait for the cap to be the hat to be thrown out by Bowser.
Yeah.
It probably is a second or greater depending on the phase.
Yeah.
And also RNG of where the hat is and what order the hat gets thrown. If the hat gets thrown first, it's barely any time.
Now Rail moving on to Lost Kingdom here. We're going to be seeing a trick called Meme Tree here, where he's going to be jumping off one of the green trees to skip the Klepto cutscene trigger.
Yeah, I believe the first name for this thing was probably Tree Triple. I think, it was Tree Triple Jump or something like that.
Oh no!
Oh god!
Yeah, going for that double roll right there is very risky. I do not. Yeah, that double roll right there is extremely risky.
So Rail had to do a roll cancel at the end of that roll to get a long jump so that he can continue, so he could clear that second gap like that.
Yeah.
He missed it.
Yeah, going for 2 rolls there is extremely risky. I would recommend only going for 1. And it looks like
that wasn't a hugely punishing thing, given that it just brings you back to the Odyssey. There are larger mistakes where you could potentially trigger Klepto, and that is really what we don't want to do.
Yeah, triggering Klepto would lose about a minute, I would say, maybe more.
Absolutely, and it's really that butterfly moon that Sign just got that really determines that, because that's such a thin platform that it's really easy to fall off.
Exactly, yeah.
Now that Real has triggered Klepto's fight, he can go wherever he wants. He is fine.
This stair moon here being very risky. On my actually most recent round, I actually roll canceled right off the edge. I got a nutty roll cancel. So there's definitely a risk along with that moon.
Right, so, I mean, while I said that Real is safe, he still has the bridge to get, the moon under the bridge to get.
Yeah.
And also, if he chooses to get the metal cage, which looks like he's doing, this is going to be a fun triple jump.
Oh,
that
he's
looks
failing
good.
it,
Bonks!
no.
Oh! I wasn't sure if that, with that bonk, I wasn't sure if there was...
I knew that. That looked... I was positive it was gonna bonk.
I knew it was gonna bonk, but I wasn't sure if there was like a root underneath or not. So this moon is safe. So now Klepto is back. So Real has to be very careful. So do not step on that bridge.
Both runners like almost synced here again.
Okay, Real just... There is a safe zone that you can get back up to, but it's a lot harder to make the jump, so it's best to just die instead of trying to recover, because that bridge is a Klepto trigger, so you want to kind of like get just before the bridge if you try to recover from it, and that's just harder.
Both runners literally synced right now. This is incredible. This is an incredible race right now.
So like I said, Lost Kingdom can definitely cause some problems, even to the most experienced runners.
Which is exactly what we saw right there.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was the case that we saw today, but it still makes for a very cool race.
Yeah, this race has been back and forth for sure. And it looks like Real, I think, is taking the lead just by loading. Which is kind of funny.
That's interesting.
Yeah, he's like in like a couple seconds in the lead just by load time.
Okay, Sign missing the first part of the spin throw. It kind of went on the second spin, which is a slight thing, but not really an impact. Just something I felt like pointing out. This jump to get into City Hall, like this whole movement chain thing, is very scary. So
yeah, in a race yesterday, we actually saw someone fail getting that girder.
I've seen people fail getting the girder. I've seen people fail jumping across onto the platform they're on right now, where the Goomba was. It's
everything in Night
really
Metro.
Scary.
Night Metro is definitely one of the more punishing kingdoms.
Right, and inside City Hall now we have cycles we have to deal with, and so you're trying to get this down, like you're trying to get this movement right to what you're used to. There are like certain cycles that like are better than others, but of course like there are ones that are easier than others. So maybe one of them had to decide to go for a bit of a slower route, but it's still good. And this jump across also can be kind of scary to some novice speedrunners.
Yeah, if you fail this, you lose like a full minute because you have to redo the entire tower.
And if you die, it's like a minute and like 20 seconds.
Yeah. Oh, Real or Cyan having some trouble catching that electric wire there.
Yeah, spin throws are not doing too well for Cyan right now.
Oh, speaking of spin throws, not doing
just
too
as
well
I say that.
Yeah.
Okay,
now this boss fight is called the Mecha Wiggler boss fight. Ideally, you want to get this boss fight done in 2 phases, but there is some RNG along with this boss fight where the Wiggler is going to go on the wall on the 2nd phase. So hopefully these runners get some decent RNG and react to the RNG and get a nice 2-cycle here.
Right, what really determines how easy the 2-cycle is the RNG of the positioning of this Wiggler. That was actually not too bad of one. Do have to wait for the Wiggler to stop, which is a bit of an annoyance. Like, it's not quite at the fastest 2-cycle, but it's still good. Also had to wait for the stop, getting it a little bit after. Actually, probably could have gotten it before the Wiggler stopped, but that was very difficult, aiming that Sign had to do. So I do not discredit Sign for having to wait for the Wiggler to stop moving.
Real long jumping right past the moon, completely missing it. Unfortunate. Now we're gonna be moving on to Day Metro, which has some hard parts to it, but I would say is one of the easier parts of the run.
Right, and it still also has still probably in the process of people adopting the newer route versus the older route.
Yeah, the
newer route.
musicians.
Yeah, the newer route does the musicians like somewhere in the middle, whereas the older route does the musicians last.
Yeah.
So
and I believe that saves time because you avoid loading zone, I believe.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You avoid the loading from when you warp from warp to the checkpoint above City Hall.
And Rail got getting the drive-by scooter clip there very clean, and Sign choosing to actually just do the RC car, which is the safer route there. The scooter clip being a very difficult trick. That because you have to tilt the controller like completely upside down almost. Now,
and so really what determines this, and I've actually learned this a little bit, is that after getting this moon, Rail has to be really precise with his movement, because this loading screen is actually not that long, so you actually have to do this movement to Pauline pretty quickly, otherwise you actually don't really save any time.
Yeah, it's very precise.
The movement to Pauline, it can be like roughly the same amount of time as the loading screen, if not more. And
look at that, Sign taking a bonk there, so he's not even saving time. And he's having trouble with that pull there too. So he's definitely losing time to doing this route.
And when losing time is like losing time to the actual route. Although the space I do believe has increased a little bit between them, it is not by much actually. They're about 2 moons apart right now.
This is still a very, very close race.
Absolutely.
Anything can happen.
As we saw in Lost.
Yeah. There's still a lot of scary parts left. One of the scary parts probably being Snow Jam. We'll see if the runners go for that in Snow Kingdom. As failing that can lose about 15 seconds. No, Rio's just grabbing the trash bin here, while Science just grabbing OTEP. Now, I guess something we could mention here is that you saw on Science Scan, it's actually a bit of text that shows up whenever you warp. We purposely make sure the text shows up in Metro just to keep consistency, because that text shows up whenever you grab a checkpoint and then warp afterwards.
We are saving time in Metro even more by doing lake clip as well, because when you open the map for the first time, you get this whole thing where Cappy tells you you can warp to checkpoints, which we know that, we're doing that. So that's the whole reason why we open the map. So you actually don't have that cutscene. You don't have that little text box, which is actually a slight cutscene. You can't really control anything while Cappy's explaining that. So you're making it happen in Lake Kingdom instead of in Metro.
Yeah. So if you do Lake Clip, you're gonna have it in Lake instead of Metro. But overall, I don't think that like saves time in the run. Just saves time in specific.
Yeah, in specifically Metro.
Yeah.
Overall, it still saves the same amount of time.
Yeah.
So, Rail has finished up Metro, Sign just getting these final 2 moons in the kingdom, and they will both be moving on to, I can't think of kingdom names.
Snow.
Seaside? No, Seaside. Okay, they go Snow first, right?
Well, it doesn't. Recently, it was discovered that going to Seaside first is like 0.3 faster, but it depends on how fast you mash. So it's not really much of a difference. We'll see Rail is choosing Snow here, and I believe Sign will choose Snow as well. There's not really too much of a point of choosing Seaside first.
Right. The point would be, if at all, would be for coins, where the current 1.2 route actually doesn't need it anymore because they use hint arts. So they now do go Snow first instead of going to Seaside because they don't need the coins anymore. but both of them went into the Sphinx room, so Sign
Yeah.
didn't have to worry about the hint art.
Mhm.
And Captain Toad was just barely in view for Real there. That is actually, this is a small fact right there. Captain Toad actually has to be visible in your camera for you to interact with him.
Oh, actually,
So,
I had no idea about that.
so there was like just barely a point where Mario could see where you could see Captain Toad in the camera.
You can't.
And yes, no, there is, like, it was the light.
No, what about Sir Sign here? I can't see Toad.
Not right now, but when it was, once you select him, yeah, the camera angle changes. But like when you're facing it, there is still a bit of a.
Yeah.
If you like look back frame by frame, you probably would have seen like a tiny bit of Toad. Both of them have like a tiny bit of Toad.
Yeah. Now we're gonna see Real going into the poison room here. Poison room is cycle based, and runners try to go as fast as they can to make a certain cycle to triple jump off these stairs here. And it looks like Real is not actually getting it, but having a very good backup.
Right. You do want to get. You're trying to get a triple jump while being blown by the typhoon. Sign is opting to not do Snowdram, and I know that because he's doing the shop at this point instead of last. If you do Snowdram, you do the shop last, so you do not have to do that loading zone going out of the shop that Sign just got.
Yeah. So we'll see if Rail's able to get Snowdram here. If he's not able to get on the Sign might be back into the lead.
Yeah, failing Snowdram is another punishing thing. So it's something that you definitely want to succeed in.
Yeah. Ooh, Rail taking a bonk there.
Rail.
Yeah, in my opinion, this kingdom is definitely like the easiest to bonk in.
Yeah, lining up the doors correctly.
Yeah, because in that hallway right there, you can like line up kind of perfectly, but you'll still get thrown around a little bit with your rolls. If you're not careful.
Sign getting the triple jump in the Typhoon room. Nicely done.
Yep.
And we'll see what Real does to clear this big gap to get this next moon.
Yeah, it looks like the roll cancel triple jump. Well, I see a lot of runners using.
There are some safer routes. I have seen, even in this tournament, I've seen people take safer routes during the race just because they want to make sure that they don't die at that point.
Yeah. Okay, it looks like Real is going for... Oh, does he not have enough coins? He does not have enough coins to Bad Moon, so he's actually opting to do Rango Room and then Snowdram on top of that. Okay, this is very interesting. So he did not have enough coins to do the shop, so this is definitely losing him time.
It is still a very good catch, because I have also seen people go to the shop and then realize that they don't have enough coins. Realized he didn't have enough coins from, I don't know when, but early enough that he was able to just go get that last moon there.
Yeah.
So now going for Snowdram, this is very particular. You have to set up, usually by camera angles, into a vault that is also vectored.
And he's getting it, making it look easy.
Yeah, it was... That was some... had some pretty good spacing, had a bit of wiggle room there. Could have been a bit shorter and still made it, but not quite the largest jump I've seen.
Yeah.
Still very good. And
well, I've never seen that before on Science Screen. He rolled on the edge of that platform there. Never seen that before. That was very interesting.
The barrier area.
Yeah. Oh no!
Oh, it'll be fine. That wall,
yeah,
that wall jump will be high enough. It still was really very good. And there's a really good save from Sign.
Yeah.
Good to have that reaction time, knowing to cap bounce into a wall jump and dive.
Now we'll see Rail moving on to the seaside here. This kingdom is pretty hard for the first half, but the second half being very easy. As you just have to move around with the fish and grab a couple moons.
it's still still not the easiest movement to move around with the fish, because there is still fish bonking. Not quite as punishing as a regular bonk, but still annoying.
Yeah. I believe fish bonking loses about 0.7 per bonk.
Whereas above ground bonks are like 2 seconds.
Yeah. Now Rail is going to be moving on to the notes here. I don't know if he's going to go for a Rocket Flower refresh or not. It looks like he's not going to. Actually, no, he is going to be going for it. Yeah.
Just did. So that was the first part of it. Now going into the second part, you could not get this moon. You have to land on the platform.
And he's that's failing
not good.
Yeah, rip. He failed it.
So you have to land on the platform. Tried to do it, jumped a bit too early, or rather did not get the jump correct to just land on the platform without getting the moon. Was a bit early on that. Like, was not a bit short on the jump, rather.
Yeah, and Rocket Flower Refresh skips capturing that gush in there, and you could just use the Rocket Flowers to run across the water instead.
Right, there is a faster setup for it, but that one's harder.
Yeah.
Go for that one. We'll see if Sign goes for it.
He is going for it. Let's see if he's able to get it here.
I like the camera angle position.
Oh no!
Oh! Just as I say that, that becomes very difficult, and I think he still has his hat. Yeah, he still had his hat while getting that moon, so the refresh didn't happen.
Now, he could have actually backed that up and done the Rocket Flower refresh one more time, and I think he would have still been fine, but he was not able
yeah, if he like threw his cap away, like while getting the moon, I believe it actually would have kept it and refreshed it.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure though.
But he just did not have the reaction time for it, which is definitely understandable.
So, yeah, I did at first like the camera angle idea so that you could aim and make sure that you actually land on the platform, but then it kind of screwed him over as he was not sure of his height for his jump height for actually capturing, collecting the moon. Mm-hmm. So it just ended up being a thing where he either jumped under it or over it. I wasn't sure which really. I didn't really catch, but either way, just didn't jump correctly for it.
Now, Rail is moving on to the Luncheon Kingdom here. This kingdom being a very difficult and punishing run if you make mistakes, because of the Pepto-Bismol that you can fall in. And a sign leaving Seaside right now and moving on to London. Looks like Rail is going for the Salt Triple here. Is he going to be able to get it? It looks like he's made it. Yep. That trick being very difficult and very precise to get that triple jump and then get the height to make it up to the salt pile.
Yeah, you gotta make sure that the final part of that triple jump is off of a higher surface where the salt is, so you actually get more height than just being on flat ground.
Now Rail is fighting Spirit here.
No way to skip this boss that is feasible right now.
Yeah, there is a theorized Bruncheon route, I believe.
Not theorized. It could be done.
Yeah.
Just no one does it.
Yeah, it's incredibly difficult. It would only be... What you do is you would do the Bruncheon jump from the painting down to the mainland, and then you would have to capture a stack of Goombas, and then use the Goombas to do the meat skip, I believe, right?
Yes, it's very important to actually... you missed one part, being that you need the life up part going into Luncheon, and then not lose it once you do the jump from the painting to the mainland, which is just barely possible with it. You get 2 bounces in the lava, and then you land on it, so you are at 4 hearts. And then regain that by hitting a checkpoint, like regain the health by hitting a checkpoint, doing more jumps and stuff, and then yeah, using the Goombas to get up into using the glitch to get like through the bottom using the lava.
Yeah.
You need enough hits to
It's-
survive. So
Something that we'd probably only see in like a TAS Odyssey run if that ever becomes.
yeah, there are videos of people like stringing together segments to show what it would look like, but no one has yet to attempt the full route and done it successfully. I'm sure someone actually tried it, but no one's successfully done it yet.
Yeah.
I would like to see someone like just like do that route, even though they know they're gonna fail it, and just like go for it. Like even though they know they're gonna fail it the first time, and just like
Yeah.
keep going, just so we could get like an actual like recording of the full segment.
Yeah.
But anyway, not doing that. We're in Luncheon Kingdom still. Sign.
Oh.
Oh!
Started taking a very unfortunate bonk, but he's able to back it up, not losing too much time.
Yeah, I got very scared when I saw that Sign didn't quite land on that platform there. I wasn't sure if he was going to be able to get the jump over to the fort or not, and it ended up bonking, but very good save, being able to react and land back onto the platform after getting hit by the lava.
Rail having a very clean fortune here. He actually skipped one fork below one of the moons he grabbed, avoiding a capture there. Rail having some good lava bubble movement here. Moving on to this on top of the gem crag. I don't know. Moon. I don't know exactly the name of it. But he's remembering not to do turnip flip here, being a 1.0 trick where you can use handbro and then a turnip to clip.
Our stream just had a little bit of trouble, but we are back now. Sorry
Indeed.
for that.
Looks like signs on shards here in Bowser's, and Real is just finished killing Harriet.
Get back just in time to see Rail being dirty Harriet first gang.
Yeah, I prefer Harriet first. Get out of here.
So sign about 2 moons behind, or rather 1 moon behind, a bunny's fight behind.
Indeed, yeah. And it looks like Real probably having to go for the risky crate moon coming up after this boss fight, as if you don't do the movement correctly, you can fall to your death.
Yes, there are ways to make this crate moon a bit safer, like waiting a bit on a jump so that you can actually just, yeah, he decided not to do a triple jump so that so that he has control of the camera, is able to point it at the boxes, so it is a bit safer as you see what you're doing.
Now Real's having to go for a risky long jump here over the void, but he's making it look easy and getting it very good there.
And it looks like Sign is not has not practiced faster Harriet of doing like quicker cutscenes so that Harriet does her attacks a bit sooner. But it's fine, it's not going to lose too much time. But also did Harriet first, so that's going to lose a lot of time.
And Real moving on to the Mecha Brutal boss fight here. This boss fight being very scary because if you fail something, you could lose up to 30 seconds, I believe. And
Right.
just as I said it, but he had a very clean backup.
Yes, able to land on one of the little, like,
Bubbles there, yeah.
yeah, bubbles. I don't know what they call those things. But, yeah, one of the bubbles in the legs that you're to attempt to jump back on top of the mech.
Yeah, that was a very, very good backup.
And we are now 2 hits into this fight.
And you just have to wait out this invulnerable phase here, as while the mech is running around here, you cannot hit any of the bubbles.
Yeah, you can just barely see the legs are flashing in rainbow colors, indicating invincibility.
Looks like we're going for target acquired.
Acquired.
Yep. That being a very risky strat, because if you miss the dive on the Spirit, you're just going to fall right off.
I have heard from some players that they feel it's more consistent than going for a Harriet last. At least in terms of, like, actually getting the hit. That if you do mess it up, you do fall down, as opposed to if you mess up Harriet, you're still on top of the mech, most likely.
Oh my god! Sign completely missing the moon there.
Okay, has to go back around, and the camera's still being really misbehaved, as you have to wait for that pipe to disappear.
Yeah.
In order for the camera to be back in your control.
Yeah.
So that was just...
Can't lie, I've actually done that before in practice, but not in an actual run. That's very unfortunate.
Okay, Rail is done with Bowser's Kingdom, and now moving on to Moon Kingdom, while Stein still has a mech fight to do, and about half of this wall to climb.
Okay, hopefully Stein can get a good mech fight here. Let's see what happens, though. Getting a good Rango kill right there. Let's see if he can kill Topper just as clean.
That's some good positionings for the second hit. There it is.
Yeah. Getting back on top of the mech. And we'll see if he's going to be going for target acquired or not. It looks like he's setting up for a Spirit Third, though, yeah. Oh no, he's falling off the mech. Very unfortunate. And this is why not landing on those bubbles is very unfortunate, because you have to wait out this cycle and have to just wait to get a bird to get the mech to climb back up the mech.
So chat found out a little while ago what Cheese's problem was, and I'm sorry that happened to you, Cheese. His grandmother accidentally unplugged the router. So like stepped on the wire and the router got unplugged. I'm sorry that happened. That is heartbreaking.
Sign still not on top of the mech. Very unfortunate. He's losing a ton of time here. And Rail's just pulling off a Mooncave skip there. Not too out of a trick. All you gotta do is wall jump on 2 very precise spots on the wall there to skip the entire Mooncave section, saving about 5 minutes, I believe. That's the biggest time save in the run.
Right, Sign now getting on top for that final Harry hit. As we had said, had fallen off by accident, but is now I was able to get on there relatively quickly. It's kind of hard to get back on top that far into the fight without using the bird, so...
Yeah. No, Rael is fighting Bowser here. This fight's pretty much identical to the Cloud fight, other than that Bowser has a fire cycle here that you guys hit through. And this fire hitbox being very broken, so you can jump over it very easily.
Right, and the movement, you're still like manipulating Bowser, so he only jumps one little section at a time instead of across the entire thing. So that's still a thing, but you still you have longer phases because you have to wait for him to spit fire and spin around in circles for a bit.
Yeah. And just like that, Rael is done with the Bowser fight. Nothing too difficult. As long as he gets these jumps here. Just like that, Bowser is dead.
Also did a backflip at one point, just
Yeah.
on Bowser.
Yeah. Now Rael is entering the escape sequence here. This part being very scary because if you die at any point, you'll be losing a ton of time as you'll have to restart the entire sequence.
Right, you go back to the point where just before you capture Bowser, like right where you wake up after fighting Bowser.
Yeah, and the most notable part of this is a 2D skip, and which saves about 2 seconds, but if you die, like I said, you have to restart this entire section over and you'll lose about a minute, I believe.
Right, it isn't something that Rael is required to do right now in order to win, but he doesn't really know where Sign is currently, so it might still be something that Rael wants to go for.
Yeah. Getting it, making it look easy. Struggling to get on top of that platform, though. And now Rael will be entering the pillars room. Gonna be trying to hit the pillar on the right and knock it down as quick as he can to get a trick that we like to call early pillar. And Sign is setting up for a moon kiss skip right here.
Yeah, ideally you should only have to skipping missing the moon skip. Mooncave skip on Sign's side, but anyway, ideally Rael wants to only really have to go up to and claw at 2 of the pillars. The other 2 should fall down from fireballs alone.
Yeah. Because clawing is, as Bowser is very slow in this section, you want to try and knock down the pillars with fireballs if you can. And it looks like
finished it out.
Yeah.
Getting a low 103.
Yeah.
Where Sign is looking at about a 105, I'd say.
Yeah.
Which is still really good, and also still potential for PBs as I say that. Because I'm like, wait a second, Sign is a 106.
Yeah, so it might be on PB pace.
And Sign is not out of the tournament yet, because this is a double elimination tournament, so Sign will be moving on to the losers bracket. So Sign is still around, and is a very good. As you've seen, he's got a lot of skill. He's not someone to underestimate. Like, definitely has potential to take races.
Indeed, as just because you have a good PB does not mean you have a good race. And Sign is taking out Bowser right there and moving on to the escape sequence.
Reyal saying that Dragon's so easy that you can do it with Joy-Cons. Rails, so the delay that we were dealing with before, because of the disconnect from Cheese, the delay's now gone, so we're actually the same time as chat, so we're allowed to talk in chat, and did say that he used Joy-Cons fighting the dragon.
Yeah, I saw him doing some down throw strats, but I just assumed he was using Joy the entire run. Didn't say anything. But apparently he was using Pro Controller and just switched over.
It's fun.
And Sign moving on to the pillar section here. Let's see if he can get the early pillar.
So I will remind people of the PB. It is a 106.25 for some.
Well, ooh, I don't think he's gonna be able to PB here, but he's gonna play very, very good PB. Not a bad run at all.
Yeah, very close to the PB. Was not able to get fast pillars. Had to wait a bit. Yeah, this is turning into a bit of a messy thing. I think he got pretty nervous being that close to his PB, so kind of played a little bit not as cleanly in that last area, and is nearly falling right now. So I'm getting pretty scared.
It's very easy to die on that last pull there if you don't know what you're doing. Missing the wire there at first. 106.58, not a bad time at all. Very, very, very respectable.
Yeah, within 30 seconds of their PB.
Not bad at all. We actually have
Hi.
a little sign. We now have a sign here for the post-race interview. How did you feel about that run?
Yeah, it was pretty good for me until Mecha Brutal. It was on low 105 pace, but then unfortunately Mecha Brutal was
Yeah, Mecha Brutal was rough for you. That's very unfortunate.
Yeah.
Also missing Moon Cave skip.
Yeah.
First run.
But that wasn't that important.
Yeah, I think it was just nerves at that point.
Yeah, because I was on low 105 pace.
Yeah, I actually think it's kind of funny that even though you messed up mech, you were still on PB pace going into Moon.
Yeah. Wasn't that bad.
Yeah, definitely a very good run.
And definitely shows that you're due for a PB very soon.
Yeah, hopefully. But yeah.
I'm gonna go over to look at the brackets and the schedule. Give me a second as I pull this up. So with that match, we're moving into winners round 3, which will be against the winner between Little Curves and Swift Zay. And
Suisaga
is...
Or is that who you're trying to say? I don't have the bracket pulled up, I think.
No, it's Swift Zay.
Oh, okay, my bad. Sorry.
I know how to say Swift Zay. No, I'm sorry. I don't want me to say it like that. But, okay, and Sign will be going over to face... Source. So, good luck to you, Sign.
Yeah, thanks. Hopefully, it's a better run.
Yeah.
Okay, up next. So we're gonna take a short intermission. And after that, we will be back. Well, not us, but Speed.
No, I'll be back. I think I'm commentating the next race too.
Oh, cool. Well, Speedruns will be back. The channel will be back soon after, where we'll do a Super Metroid race. I can't pretty abbreviation. Super Metroid race between Oats and Goats versus
Oh my
Trevatox. And then after that will be Equan versus Orome for SMO.
Yeah, I'm
at
commentating that
5:15.
race.
I will not be there, unfortunately, but
Yeah,
I'm sure that'll be
that's
a
what I
cool
meant.
one to
That's
see.
what I meant. I'm commentating the next Odyssey race. Have a
So
good
yeah.
rest of your day. Have a good rest of your day, guys.